All right, I've got a ton of subjects for this video today. We're going to move through it quickly. I'm going to be talking about what Fed Powell said. I'm going to be covering some of the Magnificent Seven. I'm going to introduce a penny stock play that I gave the Discord today. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the likes. Hit the subscribe if you need help trading these choppy markets. Today was a wild ride in the Discord. I think I traded Tesla between 10 to 20 times. Lost count. It was a valuable learning experience for anybody attempting to board the Tesla train to Wall Street and to cash in on its fast-moving, volatile money-making opportunity. I'm going to break down some of that trade with you and what I see in the Tesla chart here ahead of us in just a minute. But let me first start off with how the Fed impacted the market. Going into this week, the markets have been soaring high off of the beginning of November. Every day's been up. It's been a winning streak, but we knew that the Fed was going to talk today, and we knew that he was going to have put some pressure, some selling pressure on this huge run-up, which may not be over. We're likely going to continue to come under some selling pressure ahead of us because it's going to be choppy. It's going to be volatile. There's going to be some flash pushes back up as the bulls attempt to go higher, and there's going to be some pushing down by the bears as the bears say, you've gone far enough, it's too far, it's time for you to go down. But basically what the Fed said right at the beginning was he said that he's not confident that he has done enough to bring inflation down. Now, this is a very hawkish statement. It's a threat. It's a threat to raise rates more. But as you can always expect, there's always some mixed talk in what the Fed says. And later on, he said something very dovish. He said that the risks between doing too much and too little have come into closer balance. Now, that was a very dovish comment, which basically means that even though he's not concerned that they've done enough, they understand that they need to be cautious about overstepping and doing anything more. It could just mean that he's going to give the market some more time without a rate hike. And so overall, I actually took it more as dovish with a hard hawkish start with a dovish ending. And the markets, I would say, largely interpreted as hawkish, and mostly there was profit taking today. If we go over to the heat map of the S&P 500, we see that it turned red and it turned an ugly day, but there were some outliers. Apple had a decent day. It creeped higher and higher to that 185 target that I gave you guys. We hit 184 and some change, and we're still pressing up. The sell-off for Apple has not yet begun. If you remember my prediction, I said that we would at least hit 185. We've come very close to it. We may or may not hit it. After Thanksgiving and moving into December, have another push and another wave up, pushing Apple back to the 190 range. That's still how I read the charts, but again, it's just my interpretation. This is not a suggestion for you to buy, sell, or hold. I'm sharing my technicals and my trades with you, and I'm going to share some of my trades with you guys here in this video. We see that NVDA had a great day. It was the only Magnificent Seven that was in bright green. It was pushing higher because they're moving towards earnings, and I'm going to give you guys these targets. One, it hit a target of 480, which I've given in the past, and it has another resistance level above at 494. And this thing can absolutely push up to earnings and hit that, and it could hit it on earnings. But again, I'm going to remind you, at that point, it will be at the top of its range, and so you need to be cautious. This isn't the time to go long. When this thing was just beneath $409, that was the time to go long. If it hits 500 on earnings, please, you do you, but I would advise greater caution in buying the top of that move. Now, the stock that took the biggest hit today was Tesla, and I'm going to tell you that one of the reasons why I think that is not because of all the news stories that came out today. I read a lot of news stories. Tesla's got good news. They also have tons of FUD that gets circulated. The number one reason why Tesla went down the hardest today is because they're the fastest moving car. They tend to be the first to react to market conditions, and so Tesla, in my opinion, is pointing us towards the move that is coming, which is a more bearish move, a micro pullback from the massive run-up that we've just enjoyed. Now, that stock went all the way down, $14, over 6% down, and in the Discord, I was attempting to trade it. I knew that we had support at $213, and I expected it to blow through support, but I did expect it to stop at $211. And so I entered a number of trades and trade alerts, and got stopped out repeatedly until we found the bottom, which was beneath $207. And in the final hours of the day, I loaded up some calls. But I want to share with you guys what I see in the charts. I see a inverse bullish head and shoulders pattern forming. The neckline appears to be at 220, the shoulders appear to be at $203, and the head appears to be at 194. I think that the deepest selling pressure moment is behind us, but we have the potential of making that new higher low, and it looks to me like it could target that 203 area. Now, Apple loves to blow past support, and so the tippy top of the shoulder would actually be at $200. But the area that we'd want to see it dip beneath and reclaim quickly, that'd be the $203. And so I will be trading that move. Right now I'm in calls after hours. It jumped up to $210. I'm hoping that that continues to tomorrow. I'm hoping that we will back test what previously was resistance at $213. I'll be watching for a rejection there, and then I'd be looking to take some puts all the way back to $200 to $203. Now, let me know in the comment section what you think of my technicals. If you're trading Tesla, what you're going to do. I will tell you this for all the long-term investors. If you, just like you're looking at NVIDIA up at what could be $500 here very soon, and you see Apple up at $185, just remember that there's not a ton of opportunities to buy these stocks at their low. And if Tesla did front run this bearish move and come down to $200 and you were given two opportunities to do long-term investment in Tesla at $200 and you didn't take it, you know, I don't want you guys to have any regrets. I'm sharing with you guys what I'm going to do. I have my swing trade. I just told you about it, my option play, but I'm also going to be doing a long-term investment in Tesla so that I can sell covered calls and covered puts in the days ahead in my long-term Tesla portfolio. Happy to buy some at $200 if we get there. Thrilled. All right, I also gave this update in the Discord. Now, real quick, the Discord is connected to the Patreon. Now, there's a link for the Patreon. This is for the Stock Squad. It's Stock Up with Larry Jones, Keenan Grace, Stockmo, and myself. We're all in there giving plays and giving guidance. You can click on the top pinned comment and join that community. It's a great community. Now, the penny stock play that I gave, it is TOI, the Oncology Institute. Now, I was watching the chart. It came up on my radar because of some specifications, and I made a decision that if it broke above 228, I put an order in buy if this price is targeted. And it hit that, and it shot up all the way up to 264 later in the day. So it was a nice win. Gave that technical early in the morning, and by the end of the day, my stop loss was triggered, and I'm out of it. Now, I'm just putting it on your guys' radar because I'm probably going to trade it again. The overall momentum seems strongly to the upside, and the end result could be $4. But I think that this is going to move quite a bit and likely to come all the way back beneath $2. And so even though it shot up to $2.64 today, I think it's going to come back and it's going to have to build some support for a much bigger move up. That move could be in the coming days between $3 and $4. Right now, I just want you to put it on your watch list. Now, if you are not an experienced trader or an experienced investor, what you might consider doing with a play like this is just put it on your watch list. You might even consider buying one share just to see how it goes. Don't play the lotto. There are no great Hail Mary passes in the stock market. If you don't know what you're doing and you're not the type of person to use a stop loss, then penny stocks and big tech stocks like Tesla, swing trading, they're too much for you. And so you want to take your time with a slower moving vehicle. That's my advice. All right, let's dive into the crypto heat map. We've seen an amazing day over there. Bitcoin had a monumental run. And just last night in the Discord, I was chatting late into the hours, and I made a comment to a couple people that asked me about Bitcoin. And I said, guys, we're going to touch 36,000 one more time. And I said, and if we do, and we push above it, then we're absolutely going higher. Now, that's exactly what happened. Now, the last time I covered Bitcoin, I told you guys that at this stage of the game, when we've had a run up on something like Bitcoin, now we begin to look at the wicks. And if you look at the chart, you can see that it's given us an extremely bearish wick. All right, it shot up to 38 and got hard rejected. That was a profit-taking moment for a lot of people. They didn't care if someone thought it was going up to 48. They took profits at 38 and this thing came crashing down. Now, what do we have to watch? Well, two more things. We're going to watch two more things moving forward so that we have a technical sense of where Bitcoin might go in the coming days. The first thing that we have to watch is that $36,000 level, because what previously had been resistance, we want to see if it holds support. So, two things. If we break through 36,000 and we close beneath it for 1 or 2 days, then we know that that's not support and that we've already hit resistance and we got to go down farther down to find support. Then we got to look at that wick and we already know that it's given us a pretty bearish wick. So all we're looking for right now is confirmation close for a couple days beneath 36,000. And then where's our next support level? Well, I've given it to you guys in the past, and I hope that you know that it's between 30 and 31,000. Now, I am not predicting that this is heading straight down to 30 to 31,000. Some people listen to my videos and they hear one thing and they ask me about it later. I'm telling you that we have to watch the $36,000 level and see what happens. But we know that if we get a couple closes beneath it, then yes, the next support level is 31K, and over time it would make the most sense for it to come back. And that's how these upswings get established. They go up one step at a time, constantly back testing the previous resistance that then becomes support. Now, I was asked about Cardano the other day, and I haven't talked about it in a while, so specifically for the guy that asked me, I wanted to give you a quick update on Cardano. So here's exactly what I see in the Cardano chart. We know that the lower level of support is around 24 cents. I told you guys just the last time I talked about Cardano that the higher range resistance was between 38 and 40 cents. And so what we just did is we went from the bottom of the range to the top of the range. And you might say, okay, Josh, are we going to just stair step down and then keep going higher? Not necessarily. When you look at the chart of Cardano, there isn't really a strong defined enough support at around that 35 cents is what we would be looking for. Now, there is a support level at 30 cents, but I'm going to tell you that very likely if Bitcoin comes all the way back down to 30K and maybe even 29K or lower, then Cardano is going to come all the way back to 24 cents. So just keep it in mind. Right now, it's trading within a trade range, and we have not established a higher low on Cardano yet. And so you have to assume that if the markets went into a bearish trend for the next 3 or 4 months, you have to assume that it's going to come all the way back to 24 cents. But there is a support at 30, and so that's the next range that we'd be watching. All right, I do have one more thing for you guys. I want you to be aware that I'm watching Alibaba very carefully, and I will be talking about it or providing some technicals for them very soon. Again, we've had some good news coming out of China. We've had good technical news coming out of the US that the economy is strong, and the Fed just supported it. He said that he's not sure he's done enough to stop this strong economy, and so we know that the US economy is doing good. We're getting good news out of China, and so it means that Alibaba sitting way down on its lows at around $83 could be a great buy right now. I'm looking at a possible entry at $82, so I'd like to see it come down just a little bit more, and then I'm going to enter a trade. But I will be talking to you guys about it soon. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hit that subscribe if you would like to receive those updates on these stocks I talked with you guys about. I'll let you know how all of these trades turned out in the coming days. Peace and blessings, my friends. Take care.